Welcome back to session 2 of leveraging social media for the health and wellness professional. Now, if you're not a health and wellness professional, you better leave this site immediately because what you're about to learn is going to be absolutely incredible for your health and wellness. Whether you are a professional or not, you're going to be learning quite a bit. And that was my best attempt at a joke, so if you're not laughing now, you're not going to be laughing later. Anyway, get ready for if you thought you learned lots in session 1. Fasten your seatbelts. In session 1, we learned about the social media environment. We learned about websites and blogging. We learned about email marketing. In session 2, we're going to get into the various platforms and the monetization and advertising of the various social media. So get ready. Without further ado, the website, of course, to visit is thesocialmediaimmersion.com for all the information that you need. Again, it's thesocialmediaimmersion.com. So, without further ado, let's get started with Facebook, the granddaddy of them all. Facebook has got 3 faces, so to speak. We've got the personal Facebook account that most of us are familiar with, and it's of course limited to 5,000 friends. You can only have one personal page, and it's really for family and close friends. Many of us use it to connect through business and just because we don't know better. Whereas there are much better options. You've got a business Facebook page, or a fan page as it was known, for businesses, celebrities, causes. There's no limits to the amount of likes you can get. So whereas you have friends on a personal page, you've got likes on a fan or on a Facebook page. And the third part is you've got Facebook groups. You can have open groups. You can have closed groups that it's like a membership site where you have to be invited in or let in. And you actually have secret groups that can't even be found on a Facebook search. So you can have actually all of that going on inside Facebook, and it's all free. Personal pages, use it almost like a personal blog. Connect with family, friends, as we said. Post personal story, family pictures. Do not use it for business. Do not promote personal products and services. It's okay to provide links to your fan pages or your business pages, but Facebook frowns upon, putting promos and links into various promotional stuff. It's basically meant for personal use. On the other hand, business pages, or fan pages as they were known, is something entirely different. So again, you want to organize your friends with personal pages, and your acquaintances, family. You want to customize your groupings, etc. You can do all of that with personal pages. We all really have one. Again, you want to create a group. Invite people with similar interests, create a membership site within Facebook. You want to use it as a depository of files and pictures, create a closer community than a personal or business page with a group. Now remember one thing very, and the most important thing I can tell you about fan or business pages is it is naturally for your business. And this is the one that Google likes. Whereas Google can spider all of some of the other social media platforms like LinkedIn and Twitter, etc. Google does not touch your personal pages. So what most of us have is a personal Facebook page. Google doesn't even know you exist. It's not, or at least in that section of Facebook, it's not spidering it. All of that effort that you put in putting all that valuable inspiration and knowledge is all wasted. Google doesn't even know it's not even going there. But Google does go to your fan or business page. So pay attention to that, because if you want to get found on Google, if you want to get known on Google, if you want Google to spider your page, you want to have it done, and you want to spend your time on a fan or a business page. Okay? So this is where you promote a business, a group, an organization, institution, brand, product, community, cause, artist, band, and public figures. And you have a choice of how and different templates where you can open up a business page. You want to create a community. You want to create and support your brand, connect with your clients, your customers, and your prospects, and provide them of value in various forms so that you can do ultimately more business with them, and naturally first business with them. So the content on your page, content with pictures, video, blog, and naturally links to your sales pages and links to your blog or to your website. So how do you market and generate leads on Facebook? Use your own pages. You want to definitely take a look at separate pages for all of your niches. So if you're a health and wellness expert, if you are doing something in fitness, in nutritional, in wellness, in of various types, yoga, if you've got a network marketing opportunity with whatever product or service that you have, treat them all separately so that you retain the power of focus in your niche. I mean, if you're a fitness instructor or a massage therapist as well, or whatever it is, keep it separate. There are times when you can keep it together. There are times when you want to keep it separate and maybe have them linked to each other. Again, how do you market and generate leads on Facebook? The same way with using groups and other people's pages. You want to contribute to create community to other communities. You want to create value. When asked and when appropriate, provide a link to your solution, which of course is what you want to promote, but you don't want to be doing that all the time. Now and then it's okay, but use a 10-to-1 ratio where for the other 9 times you're providing value and inspiration and other good stuff that people are going to appreciate and gain value from. Do not spam or directly promote. You want to create events, hangouts, collect email addresses for your email campaigns. As a way to do it by driving your Facebook fans and your people who like your page to your email autoresponder and back to your website. You want to tag people and post. Which groups should you join? Well, of course, obviously you want to join your industry association, whether it's the National Nutritional Association or the Institute of Massage Therapists or the Association of Massage Therapists or the Yoga Association, whatever it is, but recognize that that's where your competition, if you want to call it that. I don't believe as a philosophy in competition or even in the in what competition stands for, because I believe that logistically and geographically there's enough business for everybody. And so I prefer the term co-opetition. I prefer the term of working in conjunction, and ultimately I love the term of collaboration, because there are always ways, especially I find in the world of health and wellness as opposed to so many other general niches. Of course, within the large world and scope of health and wellness, there's so many specific niches of where we all work out of. But generally, the word collaboration comes to mind because it's such a contributor to our own health and wellness when we behave in that way. And so as much as you want to join an industry association, you want to join groups that target specific niches. And you want to contribute first, you want to become a giver, you want to reach an authority or expert status by the frequency of your contribution and by the value of your contribution, where people will ask you for your stuff. And that's when you will contribute to groups that are in certain niches where strategically you find your ultimate prospect or your avatar. You remember that? Your avatar hangs out. You want to find them in those groups and join them in those groups. Advertising on Facebook is something that you really must take a look at. It is so new right now. There's so many people that heard about it and got upset. I saw it coming and said, what an opportunity. I invite you to do the same. Anything new that will come, and if you take a look at Facebook wanting to monetize what it's doing, naturally this is the reason why any company is in business, to cash flow and make money. So as opposed to getting upset, let's take a look at the opportunity in something that's so bleeding edge and cutting edge that it is actually a multi-million, billion dollar industry. So we'll take a look at targeting an audience and sending people from Facebook to your fan page, your business page, your sales page, your blog, and your website, and how to get into promotional posts, which I really believe is such a cool way to build and generate lots of business. So a summary on your Facebook is you want to use Facebook as an integral part of your marketing mix. Remember, 1.2 billion people. If you're hanging out with the wrong people who are not giving you business, you can reach out and start to multiply. Reach out to where your audience will be hanging out. Find them where they're hanging out. Join groups and communities where they're hanging out. Go out to events where you find them hanging out. And so start to use it a lot more strategically. There's a great chance that your target audience is on Facebook just because of the sheer size of Facebook. So it's where you want to look for them, where do you want to find them. And if you need to target geographically, you can actually search Facebook with all my friends who live in Mississauga, or all my friends of friends who live in Pickering, or people who know my friends who live in Richmond Hill. So you can really go down, and especially when you get into Facebook advertising, it's one of the best things to really hone down into the demographics of who you are after, what niche it is that you're after. So you can target your audience, and it doesn't necessarily work for all niches, but it's really a great way to go. So that's Facebook with your personal pages, your fan and business pages, your groups, and your membership. You can do quite a bit with Facebook. In the interest of time, we want to cover lots. We're covering about 10 different platforms over here, so we're going to move really fast. Again, you'll have all the slides to go slow and pause as you need to. So let's go with LinkedIn. LinkedIn is not a place to sit passively, a repository to file your resume thinking someone's going to read it and give you a job. It's really a very strategically can be used, a call to action, and can drive any business. It is a phenomenal where professionals hang out on LinkedIn. The average age of users is about 41. You can see the average household income is 120,000. 64%, of course, of the users are male. College grads, graduate degrees, the percentages are skewed in favor of business decision makers. So you can see it's a very professional crowd. Over 2.5 million users research, review products online on LinkedIn. And remember, 40% of the people on LinkedIn, which if you remember the stat is 259 million. So over 250 million people on LinkedIn, 40% use the premium services that is an additional $29 to $100 a month that they pay to use it. So they must have realized something where that is providing them enough value to want to invest that much on a monthly basis. So take a look at how that can also be of value to your business, because it allows you to connect a lot more strategically, which we can get into offline, but in the interest of time, take a look at premium services. It can help you quite a bit. What do you want to achieve on LinkedIn? Is it lead generation? Do you want to drive traffic to your website? Do you want to build a contact list, generate an abundant supply of quality leads, convert leads into happy customers? Gotta start with your objectives, start with the end in mind. What is it that you want to accomplish? And there's so many ways in which you can do it. What do you want to achieve on LinkedIn? Promote your business, sell products, services, generate more revenue, find investors for your products and companies. Free public relations, absolutely. There's so many ways to do it. Get your company on TV and other media mentions. So interestingly enough, we talked about having your own TV type show on with the Google Hangout here. You can actually use the PR to get yourself on media, get high-end paying clients without having to hard sell, and become a thought leader in the industry. It truly, truly is a great platform to separate yourself from everybody else if you know how to leverage LinkedIn. So where do I start? You want to start with the end in mind, always, no matter what platform you use, especially on this one. You're dealing with people are that not to judge, but would be a lot more discerning in how they don't clickety-click just to add friends as we might do on Facebook. Where many times you don't know who it is that you're adding. It could be somebody from another part of the world that is not the picture that they have on their profile page, etc., etc. So You want to really start to get cognizant that this is a very professional environment. The larger your network, the larger your net worth. You've heard it described in so many other ways. Your network is your net worth, and vice versa. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And it actually goes further, because through social media, what it's done is really taken that whole thing. It's not what you know, it's who you know, one additional step further. And that big step is it's who knows you. So the real step is it's not what you know to who you know, but because of social media and developing a large community and developing a large following, depending on the media that you're on, you get a lot of people that know you. So it's not what you know, it's not even who you know, it's who knows you, because they're part of your community. You don't know them specifically, but they know you because you're the trusted authority, you're the expert, you're the contributor. You've separated yourself from the rest of the pack. So what would happen if you added 3 contacts a day? You've got 1,000 extra connections a year. So take a look at building it very, very, very slowly. Again, those magic questions you want to ask yourself, it really comes down to building a foundation no matter where you go. What is your objective? How do you determine the return on investment of your LinkedIn expert? Or efforts. Know what it is that you want to achieve. The number of leads you create in a day, a week, a month, the number of connections you have in total, the number of recommendations you have written about you, the number of recommendations you've received and written about other people, the number of groups you're in, the number of business leads you've received, the number of phone conversations with new connections, and face-to-face meetings with new connections. So this is not about getting out there again and filing your resume like a slouch and hoping someone's going to give you a job or call you up for something. You've got to take action. It's nice to have contacts that you're creating, but it is about phone calls. It's about reaching out live. It's about meeting people. It's about taking social media to the next level, to the real level of a face-to-face conversation. In many instances, in many, depending on your product and service, you won't have to. But usually, if you're in something that requires the something of a touchy-feely type of application or delivery, then naturally you will be crossing the line of social media to delivering the product face-to-face, knee to knee, eye to eye, and physically. So again, you want to determine who's your target audience. Analyze thoroughly, understand, connect with your ideal customer or client. We talked about the avatar. Have you built your avatar? That is the person that you have on your site, right on the rifle. That's the person that you want, and you want to build a community around that one individual, and then find on social media where you're going to find many, 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 many more of that individual. Then you've got to create your own profile accordingly. You want to find out where they hang out, what groups they're in. You want to join those groups. You want to contribute to those groups with content. Answer questions that people are asking, so other people in there say, whoa, that Ash guy, he is good. He is good. Let me find out who he is. Click, click, back to you, and where they get to now see your profile, and you read your bio and get to know you. So because you are the trusted advisor, that's who you become by contributing and giving value. Again, the rule is never, ever, ever start to drop your link all over the place and spam everybody. Nobody likes that. It's the best way to lose friends and influence no people. So let's move on to the next slide. Now, analyze your clients. Again, let's go to the next one right there. Yep. What keeps them up at night, staring at the ceiling? What are they afraid of? What is giving them pain? What are they angry about? Or who are they angry with? What are their top 3 daily frustrations? And you basically want to start to ask, if you can read that, what do they secretly and ardently desire most? And is there a built-in bias in the way they make decisions? Do they have their own language? These are very, 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 very very important questions that you should be asking. So again, pay attention to these questions, because when you're asking questions like this, you're not only developing your avatar, you're developing yourself, you're getting very strategically focused on who it is you're after, where you're going to chase them, and that's very, very, very important. Okay, so who else has tried to sell them something and failed? You want to follow the people who, and this, we can get very, very strategic on where you want to go, but pay attention to these questions first. Identify common problems and solutions. Interview some of your existing clients to find out. Create your profile and plan to action accordingly. Identify strategic groups to focus on. Prove that you can provide those solutions. And by proving, you want testimonials from other people. You want other people recommending you. You want to ask relevant questions yourself to connect with your audience. Crowdsource, naturally. Poll, survey, and you can do some of this off LinkedIn naturally, but it's a great place to do all of that, to create the community, keep them engaged with the various ways in which to engage them. Again, foundation for success is to get your profile in order. That's the #1 biggest, best thing you can do. You have less than 3 seconds to capture someone. So all of a sudden you're, an authority, you're an expert on one of the communities that you join. People come out to your profile page and they see a photo that is something that's a selfie that's got, cut from half a couple's picture, and you posted it up there. It's something that's got not even a picture of you, but a picture of whatever. You've really got to take a look at how professional that is and how professionally you're presenting yourself. The first thing you want to do is be that ultimate professional that people are at least going to want to take a look at for the next 3 seconds. If those 3 seconds doesn't capture them and doesn't hook them, you're gone. Nothing else you do is important. So make sure, even if you've got to pay for it, that that photo is premium and that it portrays you in the professional way that you want. It does not have to be suit and tie. And I think in many instances for health and wellness professionals, it'll not be a suit and tie, but it'll be something that portrays you in your professional designation and carries you in good stead. That picture is now worth not 1,000, but 10,000 words. Your headline, the 120 characters that are available, very important on your headline to describe you. Your summary of current and previous experience, again, contact information, websites, and activity. Let's go into each of these to take a look at what you need to do, okay? How to display your individual expertise and credibility. Your professional gallery is the big differentiator. You want to share hyperlinks of the various media, video, images, documentation, presentations. You want to send them to your website, your YouTube site, your Google Docs, Scribe, SlideShare, whatever you've got that is part of you, that shows your experience, that shows some of who you are and what you've done. You want to place the professional gallery hyperlinks in your summary, your experience, and your educational sections that comprise your bio. It's easy, fast, and relevant. And you want to put everything in the correct sections and really do a great job of filling it all out. The summary section is your virtual handshake. What do you do? So you want to focus on delivering this message to your ideal client or your avatar. Market research will have told you the hot buttons. You already know the hot buttons in describing what your avatar likes and loves. So your Google AdWords will have identified the keywords, and your basic copywriting will allow you to target these buttons. You want to use lots of stories, personalize your message to them, and remember to include a call to action, a telephone number, an email, a website. Yes, I know it's LinkedIn, but whatever the social media platform, there's always a call to action philosophy and a way of doing it. Even if it's just taking them off the social media onto your website or giving them something and asking them to do something as a result. Maybe even getting back to you with what their biggest aha was from an inspirational piece or from a new piece of knowledge that you share with everybody. The experience section, you target it so you get found on LinkedIn and online for that particular experience. What do you want to be known for? What is your experience? Google is spidering this. You'll be found online for this. Have you ever noticed that when you Google someone. You can try that with my name, or you can try that with your name, especially, or with somebody that you want to find out about. Their LinkedIn profile would sometimes come in ahead of their site. Mine doesn't, because I've got lots of stuff on ashsilva.com, but it's very close up there. And so you want to take a look at what are you putting in your experience section. You want to list every job you have been involved in. You can, as much as possible, and the more the merrier, because you can connect with former colleagues in those key words where you may have worked, and it just builds bigger bridges and more keys to connectivity on every piece of experience that you've had, where other people can be searching you and they can find you. You can be better connected and better connectable. And naturally, they can reconnect with you as LinkedIn grows. And there's nothing better than to be very thorough in putting this whole experience section together. So the passive prospecting opportunity is you want to work on your profile. People who find your profile, they find you interesting, different, credible. How can you identify yourself and write about yourself in that way so they do find you interesting, different, and credible? There's lots of yoga teachers out there, instructors, there's fitness instructors and gym owners, and nutritionists can be a dime a dozen. There's many people teaching you how to eat properly. So how do you distinguish yourself, differentiate yourself, elevate your credibility, edify yourself, and keep it interesting, because people love a great story. So keep them riveted. Put a lot of weight on keywords and stories again, which are search engine optimized, and get active with building your online brand. Never, ever sell directly. Send a direct message to the first degree contact, which is in LinkedIn you'll find out is friends of friends of friends, second degree, third degree, and you grab their email and their Outlook. Email through LinkedIn has a 30% higher open rate than an email system. What does that mean? The beauty of LinkedIn is that when you have people who are connected with you, you actually have their email address and you can send them an email. And when you send them an email, when it comes from LinkedIn versus your Gmail or even your emailer, the open rates can go from anything from 10 to 12 to 15%, if you're lucky and good on a regular email system, to 30%, which is, it's just incredible. Where 3 out of 10 people are actually opening your email. So you want to take a look at those numbers. You have to pay, of course, to message your second and third degree contacts. You can get into the premium services with LinkedIn at that point. And remember, 40% of the 260 million people who use LinkedIn pay for their premium services. And that's a lot. That's over 100 million people that pay the extra money to use LinkedIn's premium services. They must know something that you may not know. So get in there. You can usually try it free for a month and give it a shot. Find out what the differences are. You can, of course, use groups, and you can direct message members in the groups. You can create tags and filter by location, message people grouped in those tags. There's so much you can do with it. And send out, of course, direct messages. You want to keep it below 50 at a time. Referral marketing, daily instructions, introductions. Reach out to one person on your first level. So you don't have to go to town, and maybe you're just starting up on LinkedIn. Maybe you've been on LinkedIn for a while. Reach out to one person on your first level to start. It all starts with taking some sort of action. If you can reach out to 3, that's fine. You've reached out to 1,000 within a year. If you reached out to 1 per day, you reached out to at least 365 people in that 1 year. So search your connections, make the introduction. 365 days in a year will bring an avalanche of people who know people in second and third degree that will come out there to you. But it all starts with taking action with one. And that, if you don't have a LinkedIn account, is please start one, especially if you determine that your target audience and your avatar is on LinkedIn. Now, here's an important and credible way to gain that trusted authorship, to become the expert, to separate yourself from other people saying, gimme, 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 gimme your business. And that is to take the time, be concerned, and care enough to make introductions. So when you make introductions, you separate yourself from everybody else by doing and showing and contributing to people and introducing to them other people that would be good for them, that would add value to their lives and to their businesses. So you want to be a connector. You want to make introductions. Always be on the lookout for natural fits between people. Be on the lookout for natural fits between people and resources that you might find, or articles you might have read in a certain niche, and pop it up, copy and paste, get it out to the right people and say, you know what, I was just thinking about you and I thought you would enjoy this or appreciate this, and off you go. Do you think that other person on the other line is not just looking at that article and whether it was important to them or not as strategic as they may have liked? You think they don't appreciate what you've done by taking your real time out of your day to do that? That is what you want to do. Introduce them to you and a little bit more of you, and not just the side of you that wants business. So you want to use the available media, which is direct messaging, phone, recommendation. Always follow up, especially when you're at an event, and if you made an introduction, to see how it went. It's great for feedback to know if you will introduce people again, especially if they don't know or don't follow up or don't represent you in the best light, when you're putting your credibility at stake when you make those introductions. So well-matched introductions will elevate your status. Learn how to use that strategically. Again, let me repeat, well-matched introductions will elevate your status. And what really that means is you've taken the time and trouble not just to slap a little schlock and put A and B and Johnny and Joan together because it's Johnny and Joan. But if Johnny is a yoga teacher and Joan is a nutritionist, and you put them together because they both have clientele that can use each other in a holistic way, or if they're even more aligned because of certain other philosophies that Johnny and Joan have, and you happen to know them both, but they don't know each other, well, what an amazing introduction that will have Johnny and Joan both thanking you for that flow of business that's going to come their way because of that introduction with each other. So take a look at how you can do that strategically and elevate your status with Johnny and Joan, but also with other people that get to find out that you do that, and you've got a mind to think strategically around that. So in conclusion, with LinkedIn, people want to connect. You want to make it happen for them. Become someone who provides value, whether it's in the introductions, in the connections, in the information you give out, in the groups that you join and answer questions and become the authority. And you want the pay it forward mindset. It'll come back to you later. It always does. It is a mathematical formula that is going to come back to you, especially if you don't pay attention to that part of it. I've had that happen time and time again. And so in doing that, you become a valuable resource. Zig Ziglar said it best. You can get everything in life you want if you help enough people get what they want. So really live that philosophy, because, and I'm going to add to that, is to the degree you help people get what they want in life is the degree you will actually get what you want. So the more you can do it and give, the more you get without expecting to get. That's LinkedIn. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on to Twitter, and Twitter, just like LinkedIn, has about 250 million people. It's a little bit less than LinkedIn, about 230 million people at this time. And if you're laughing at this little comic joke strip right now, then you are on Twitter and you know what you're doing and what you talk about. If you're not and confused, then you're the bird on the right-hand side. Okay, you can go back to the slide, and when you learn to laugh at that, you will have known at least some of the lingo on Twitter. Now, where does Twitter fit in with your marketing? Well, decide first of all if you need it, because it's a different type of beast. You can take some time to get involved. You've got ways in which to automate it with TweetDeck and Hootsuite, and basically you're sending announcement messages and broadcasting. It's a broadcasting type of platform. But if used strategically, it is an incredible way to build a database, to build a community, to contribute, add value to the community, get specific with your direct messages or broadly with your tweets. So you've got a research function that's quite strategic to find people, news, trends, and topics, and share it with like-minded individuals and community. And naturally, it determine how it fits in with your business, determine how it fits in with your personality. Sales and marketing with events and sign-ups, time-limited sales, coupon codes, website specials, store product sales, contests. It's endless what you can do. And the beautiful thing about Twitter is you get to do it, and you have to do it all within 140 characters. And if you're on Twitter, you know what that means. You got to keep it tight. You got to keep it succinct. There's no long-winded Facebook post. You got 140 characters, including spaces, to do it in. And it really develops your sense of writing and your ability to write and put a thought across in a very limited space. Someone said, if I had more time, I'd write a shorter speech. If I had more time, I'd write a shorter speech. In other words, say more in less time and with less words. And Twitter really helps you fine-tune that. So take a look at how you can deliver a message and broadcast to like-minded people, groups, and communities with with messages that are uplifting and encouraging and helping and sharing. Definitely links to your site now and then. And the proper ratio here is 20:1. So for every sales tweet, you need at least another 19 or 20 interactive tweets without pitches or site links and stuff that is so good that people will say, wow, I'm going to retweet that. And that's where a big portion of the value lies in Twitter, is people who see value in your tweet and they retweet to their own community, or as they say in Twitter world, followers. So just like you've got friends in Facebook or likes on your business page, you've got followers on Twitter. Does Twitter make any sense for my business? Well, you can search for your keywords, your customers. You can see if your clients are there. You can test it. It's free, and it doesn't hurt to see how you make headway out there. Your competitors are definitely there. Your industry influencers are there. You want to take a look at where they are, and depending on even the degree you decide to get on it, it's always good to keep an eye on your competition for the sake of knowing what the competition's up to, but also in terms of your own innovation, to take a look at what's being done and said and out there, that you can take a look at your own business and say, hey, here's some good stuff that I can tweak to make it mine and to bring to my own customer base. So are you into it, or does it make your hair stand up on your head, which it doesn't on mine? So reasons for your business to be on Twitter. Brand awareness is a huge thing, because naturally as you build your followers, you can get your message out, and the brand awareness is big. You want to find leads out there. You want to support your customers naturally, develop professional relationships, announce new products. Again, it's a broadcasting platform. It can be used very well as a broadcasting platform. Expand your site's reach and complement and enhance other social media platforms. You want to create ad hoc focus groups. You can gain business intelligence. Again, your competition and your co-opetition is there. Other niches are there where you can learn best practices. Breaking news. This is one of the coolest things, over and above just plain old business. One of the coolest things is that breaking news from Twitter sometimes beats the major news outlets to the punch. And it's happened time and time again where a fire breaks out and somebody stops to take a picture and post it before they escape. Fire breaks out and someone takes a picture and posts it and tweets about it before they actually escape. So you get it on the Twitter feed even before the news media gets to show it out there to you. And that's becoming one of the phenomena of social media, is that when you're following the appropriate channels, you can, or the appropriate people who are in the know, let's just say, you can get a lot of news well before it hits the ground, and you can be in the know as well as you retweet that to your own audience. So recruit staff, freelancers, position yourself as an influencer in your niche, and naturally promote short-term campaigns. So how can Twitter help your business? You can connect in context to your niche, to your customers. You can stay connected with them with news, information, value. You want to listen and learn with what your clients, prospects, customers, and competitors are tweeting. You're actually listening and learning with your ear to the ground, with your eye to the industry. You want to grow and succeed because Twitter will allow you to expand your reach by getting new followers in different niches and in different categories, and naturally you want to learn from others beyond just learning and listening to your competition, but you want to learn, you want to advance, you want to learn from the visionaries, and you want to grow your business and your personal life. Again, this is a little bit dated because it was from September last year. It's not that old, but it really gives you an idea of where the Facebook is. Look at Google Plus coming up on Facebook. Facebook's at about 1.2, a little bit bigger right now, 1.2 billion, and Google Plus is catching up fast at 1.1 billion. Now you can take a look at Twitter. That has come a long way since we last spoke, and we've got Instagram at 150 million, and look at Pinterest. Pinterest has come up there with 70 million and climbing very, very, very fast. So these are 5 of the biggest platforms you want to take a look at, and of course LinkedIn, which was not on that map, but is the other one you want to take a look at. Here's a visitor graph to give you an indication of the growth of the various social media. So you can see Facebook is the 800-pound gorilla at 1.15, 1.2 billion at this point. So you can see it trending at that curve, at that angle. Whereas you can see Pinterest in red on the little right-hand side, and you can see Instagram. Twitter, of course, is trending up there as well in the $500 million zone. Look at Google Plus from when it started a couple of years back, and look at how it's trending, and look at the line just taking up and cutting through Facebook's growth trend. So really, it's something to watch out for, and I definitely see it overtaking Facebook in the next 12 months for sure. Which leads us to G Plus or Google Plus. What is going to take, and why are they going to overtake Facebook? You've got to take a look at Google Plus as all social networks in one. I mean, it's a blog, it's Picasa where you can share your photos, it's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter where you can post short updates, Instagram where you can share your photos in a more social way. It's a place to hang out with friends and clients. And so take a look at the fact that it can be all of these. It is Google's product, and when you fill out all the, naturally when you go to plus.google.com and you start your own page, you can have your personal page, your business page. You want to fill out the description, your photos, your links, your videos and events. Start posting, get active, keep it interesting, pictures and videos. This is Google's answer to the world of social media. So what we call, friends and relatives, so to speak, becomes circles in the Google Plus world. This is a way of differentiating groups of people into circles of similar passions and interests and locations. You can do it geographically. You can do it by industry. You can do it by jobs. Any way you want. You can do it by, family designation, etc. So that when you do message your communities or your circles, you can do it to one. You can be more specific. You can be general. And you want to look at sharing content, differently with the different circles as well. Authorship is one of the most important things. If you were paying attention before, pay real attention to this slide, because this one here can make it or make it big time for you. So Authorship, you can link content you publish to a specific domain, such as mine, ashsilva.com, to your Google Plus profile. Make sure you have a great profile photo. We talked about it for a number of different reasons, but here's another one, and the best one of them all. It has more than just a professionalism. It has more than the fact that it looks great. When you put a byline containing your name and appearing on the page of your content, for example, by Ash Silva, you want to really fill this out properly. You want to make sure your byline name matches your name on your Google Plus profile. We're getting very, very specific with this because Google is spidering you in a certain way. Now remember, Google Plus is a Google company. It's owned by Google. And even though the world of social, of at least search is supposed to be fair, you've got to assume that Google is going to spider its properties or its own properties like YouTube and Google Plus with a little bit more preferential treatment. And it is so. So when you take a look at doing this, what Google is really doing when you're is exact as described on this page. And you actually get to, when you fill in the byline, you get to verify your authorship with your email address. It's done in the same way as Google Places, where if you've got a retail location, you can actually qualify or at least have register for Google Places with Google. But Google verifies you at that physical address. They actually send you a postcard. And when you take the link or the code out of that postcard and put it online, you verify Google Places, which now when people do a search for you, allows Google to map you. Many businesses don't know you can have that. So especially if you've got a retail or if you've got a physical storefront or physical place, it may be an office and home, it doesn't matter, where you're physically doing business and you want to promote it, then you should have your Google Place done. But authorship is incredible. I'm going to say it again. What this does for you now, let me repeat, is that when you do all of the stuff as described, and if you missed it, you can always go back to that slide on authorship. Google, what it does is when somebody else takes your content and posts it elsewhere, it'll automatically put your name in that content because it has spidered you in that way. That is cooler than cool. It is so strategic when you really think about it, is that when you establish your own authorship, it doesn't matter who's copying and pasting you all over, they're actually doing you a favor because Google is giving you credit for that copy and paste because you have authorshiped it. So again, probably one of the most important slides in the presentation with what you can do as an author, speaker, coach, consultant, a trusted authority, especially in the world of health and wellness where you want to separate yourself in authorship in terms of being the expert, in terms of being the person that people come to. Okay? So with Google Plus, you've got naturally Hangouts that, and a Hangout is a combination of a YouTube with Google Plus, and what it allows you to do is something unique because about Google Plus is the Hangout, because the Hangout provides users with a free video calling platform that they can use to connect. So think about it this way. We are actually producing this video that you are seeing live right now. We're coming to you live through a Google Hangout. So gone are the days when you needed to produce a video and then load it up to YouTube, and that was the only way to get a YouTube video onto YouTube. Now we're creating a video live, so you can actually watch the creation of this online live. Now think about what that can do to your health and wellness business. I mean, if you're a practitioner and a practitioner only, that's fine, but there's other things that you can do on a video or on a broadcasting platform that can go out to your potential audience that reflects on your leadership in the delivery of that product and service. So think about how you can use this to further enhance the fact that you can have online events. People from all over the world can join in. And so beyond just delivering a product and service, you can actually, get an ebook, develop your community, and do so much more. And a Google Hangout allows you to do that with YouTube as well. So the platform can be used by brands for inexpensive business seminars, open forums, etc. Why use Hangouts? Very simply, save on costs. You've got the entire video conferencing facilities that you can do right on a Hangout. You've got internal collaboration. You can cut out phone tag, emails, cut down on the overhead. No meeting rooms, food, travel, commute. Everybody logs on. You can have 10 people on at a time collaborating right on video. You've got screen sharing capabilities. You've got business presentations without lugging equipment and spending time away. And there's no need for anyone to be present in the same room. You can be in different countries, different cities, different office locations, even in the same city, where you've got the advantage of video collaboration with screen sharing. And with Google Drive and some of the other applications, it's just tremendous, the productivity that you can do. And here's a step, here's a huge step beyond just producing a Google Hangout. You can learn how to have your own TV show, which is one of the things that we're doing right now in producing a lifestyle show on the internet. So you can actually take a Google Hangout, and there's technologies that exist, whether you have a Mac or a PC, where you can actually learn to produce your own TV show. And there's, if you go to, of course, turnyourshowintocash.com, you can actually run it like a Hollywood producer. We've got details on that. And in fact, if you go to the link below, that's my affiliate link, turnyourshowintocash.com/#Ash. You will actually see a video, and if you opt in, you'll have a 1 hour video on exactly what it means to have your own TV show. There are content providers right now looking for content. There's a new domain for experts and coaches and trainers and health and wellness professionals who are on top of their game to become a demonstration on video of how good they are, of who they are, of the message they deliver, of the personality they have. And if you have a message that belongs in a wider audience and you're willing to cross the shyness boundary and get in your discomfort zone, because you know that growth happens only in your discomfort zone, then you need to get out into this world of having your own TV show on the internet, where you're not relegated to a geographical boundary for delivery, but to the world where people can find you all over. And there's many ways in which you can catch convert. So you look out for that in terms of maybe one of the channels. If that makes sense, contact me, and would love to show you how you can have a TV show just like the one we're doing. YouTube on its own is an incredible way to post your videos and to reach out. There's search engine optimization with your videos that is just phenomenal, that we can talk about when we get into the advertising portion of it. But you want to use YouTube to get your other web properties to the top of search engine. You want to promote, advertise, generate income. You want to use your Hangouts to run your business. Again, it's about saving costs, making things more efficient, and connecting to colleagues and clients in much better ways. So which social platform do you use? Do not waste your time trying them all first of all at the same time. Try one at a time. Pick one. Pick the one where your customer's at. Again, it makes sense. You focus on one, build it up, get comfortable with it, try a second one, get comfortable with it, try a third one, but start with one. Get good at it, and then you can always move on to other platforms. You don't want to waste your time. Look at the growth on some of the social media just in the last 6 months of this year. Take a look at Instagram at 25%. That's a 50% annual growth. Tumblr at 22%. Pinterest at 7%. I mean, think about how fast. Some of these chat applications are growing. Snapchat at 67. That's over 130% growth in a year. WhatsApp, 30%. Fine. WeChat. If you're not on these, look them up. This is the new frontier, ladies and gentlemen. This is something that will help you and your business get out there and create, if it makes sense. If it makes sense, it can create the community that you can be bridging together and delivering your health and wellness message. So it all comes down to not what platform do you use, but when you start with the end in mind, you want to say, well, what are my goals? So think about what your goals are before you start pinning on Pinterest. Do you want to increase traffic, sales, awareness, try different approaches, track results to see what works best? You really want to take a look at if this is a medium that makes sense for you. It's a visual medium. You want to take a look at, is this going to work? Am I looking at, it's, I guess, dominated by women between 30 and 45 who are pinning their their vision board, let's call it that, of their perfect house and backyard and what it is that they want. If your avatar is that type of client, you might want to take a look at Pinterest naturally. And you want to definitely think about your goals before you start embarking on this road. So what is Pinterest? It's an image-based social media network. It's used to visually share or curate, and curate would be finding pictures elsewhere and bringing them into your community, something that is relevant, something that will be inspirational, or something that will be of value to your community and help them discover. Posting is referred to as pinning in Pinterest, whereas you will post on Facebook. So pictures and videos, and you want to upload directly or find it on the web, and you can pin it. There's applications around it that make it really, really easy. So when you find some good stuff on the web, you can bookmark it, and you have a pin button, and off you go. You can pin that URL directly onto your Pinterest. You're really building your presence by getting out to all of these social media channels, and don't let it mind boggle you. I mean, this may not be for you. But when you know everything that's of value, or at least some of the bigger ones that are available to you, you can make a better decision of what you might want to start off with first. So for each board, choose a compelling cover pin that quickly gives people a sense of what's on that board. And often the one with the most repins works well to have as your cover pin. So you can have secret boards as a staging tool to make sure new boards are ready for prime time before you launch them, so you don't have to launch a board until it's ready to be launched. And you want to try putting your most relevant boards on top. You've got seasonal boards. You can have a lot of fun with Pinterest. There's just so much to explain that'll be over and above what we can talk about in this 1 hour with 10 social platforms. But you can imagine this is a very, very up and coming and growing, and best thing you can do is go to Pinterest.com and set yourself up. And of course, you can have a business page at business.pinterest.com and set up your own business account. And of course, again, they will verify your website. So there's that additional layer of authentication, which helps, because when you've got a Pinterest business account, then Pinterest has verified that you have a business, which is important when people are doing business with you. So a great strategy always starts with a website. You want to take people back to that website. Use plenty of high-quality images. Why? Because Pinterest is a visual site. So in a visual site, you want to make sure the quality of your images is up there. Again, we're looking at Instagram that has grown. You're at 150 million users already. It grew so fast, Facebook has bought it. And so there's apps where you can upload at Instagram and Facebook at the same time. And naturally, it fits so well with Facebook, but it's just entirely picture-focused. And primarily for mobile users, actually, I think you can't even start a Instagram account, as far as I know, from a laptop or a desktop. You need a smartphone to start an Instagram account. Flickr, again, flickr.com. You may need a Yahoo account to start one up, but you can link to Facebook and follow all your friends already. It's very addictive, used in conjunction with other social media. Again, it's a picture platform, and you can start to take a look at between Instagram, which is Facebook's platform, and Flickr, which is Yahoo's, how each can work for you, what type of communities are you finding out there. So almost certainly the best online photo management and sharing application in the world, in quotation marks. Who said that? Was it Yahoo? Audience is overwhelmingly young, so you get a lot of the 16 to 34 audience using it. Again, your goals are to help people make their photos available to the people who matter to them, enable new ways of organizing photos and video, and it doesn't hurt to take a look at Flickr.com to see if it makes sense for you and your crowd. Tumblr.com, watch how you spell it. There is no E on the TUMBLR.com. You can go to that, create your site. Again, it's owned by Yahoo, where they bought it for over $1 billion a year ago. Microblogging is big. So what you would do on your main blogging site, the microblogging site like this, it does generate a lot of good search engine optimization juice. So you might want to take a look at that in terms of putting a lot of creative value out there and getting found on the search engines for people looking at your niche in health and wellness. The service allows you to post multimedia and other content in a very short blog type format, and the users can follow other users' blogs as well as make their own blogs private. Much of the website's features are accessed from a dashboard interface. It's quite cool, actually, and it doesn't hurt to give it a shot to see if it's something that you want to do. You may not get around to doing it, but as a way of covering the whole social media platform comprehensively, we thought we'd bring it to you, okay? Even though you might not end up using Snapchat. but Snapchat is up and coming in a huge way, and it goes to show you that you never know where and when the next latest and greatest application is going to come from. This was developed by Evan Spiegel and Robert Murphy, Stanford University students at the time, and basically you're using an application that takes photos, records videos, and adds text and drawings and sends them to a control list of recipients. And it's something that you can take a look at if you want. It's quite cool. If your audience is the young crowd, again, probably in the 16 to 34 range, you might want to take a look at it. But if you take a look at Snapchat right now, it's already got over 500 million. And as you can see from last one, your content is being viewed 500 million, 500 million times per day. So that's some incredible engagement. So I guess that covers a lot of the social media platforms. We have covered each and every one of the big boys and girls. We've gone from the 800 to the 900-pound gorilla. You've really got a range that you can take a look at of where you want to start and what you want to do with your social media, and in terms of the skeletal approach of where do you want to take it. Now, there could be a question that arises, with where do you start and how much of it do you want to do and how much do you know, where you might want to take a look at outsourcing some of your business, whether it's your social media or whether it's other aspects of your business, which could be your accounting or whatever. But let's stay with social media as we're talking about that right now. And as opposed to learning how to do a lot of social media, you can always outsource it, especially if you can justify the ROI and the return on investment of actually paying someone. You can get it for as low as $5 an hour and less, depending on if you go to India or the Philippines. You can actually work it out to much, much, much less. Here are some companies and some websites where you can get help with your outsourcing listed right there. Again, you'll have all of this in your files so that if you miss some of that, you can always go back and check it out. But basically the point here is you want to outsource. Well, think about it this way. If you're good at what you do, if you're great at what you do, if your niche is what you do, if your passion is what you do, and what you do is your passion, and maybe you don't want to get out and learn a lot of social media to the degree you want it, well, you can, for a fraction of the cost, outsource it, where you can justify that for outsourcing it, you can make a lot more money, monetize a lot better by generating visitors to your website, and you can sell them something of value because that's where you dominate. Or take them from your website into your retail location where they'll come in and give you more business and buy your products and services and take advantage of those. So you want to take a look at that. I mean, look at it this way, that if your car breaks down, you're not going to learn how to fix it necessarily. Or if you want to, buy a new car, you're not going to learn, you don't want to learn how to build it, because there's people who do that much, much, much more cost effectively. Either your car dealership or your mechanic, where you can focus on what your passion is. And there's many, many cost-effective ways in which to do it. So monetization really is the biggest thing you want to take a look at. You want to take a look at, well, how do you make money from all of this stuff, right? It's nice to waste your time and to start posting and tagging and linking and liking and tweeting and retweeting and pinning and sharing and all of those buzzwords. But if you're not making money, if you're not monetizing it, then at that point it does become a waste of time. So how can you do it strategically, right? How can you generate leads for your email marketing campaign? How can you take those leads and convert those leads in your funnel, because your autoresponder is taking them through a sales process where at the end of 5, 7, or 10 emails, you either call them or you give them a call to action, you delivered a coupon for them to come in, try something free, and then upsell them into half price and then keep them coming in. So there's many, many ways in which to do that, but you want to take a look at the whole hub and spoke of everything. The hub being your website, and the spokes maybe being the various social media channels, and the glue to all of it being maybe your email marketing and your email marketing list. So you want to take a look at how you're configuring all of that stuff, and you have your links to your site and your email, etc. And you never want to sell directly on social media. You want to always bring them back, and you want to recommend and kind of bring them back to your website. That's where you want them to hang out, so that you're building it up with an email list. Monetizing other people's products. So just when you thought it was over, you could do everything with who you are. You're a yoga instructor, you own a yoga studio, you own maybe a fitness club, maybe you're a fitness instructor or a nutritionist, or physiotherapy or psychotherapy or chiropractor, whatever it is that you do, whatever products and services you deliver, whatever network marketing you might even be doing in health and wellness products, you want to take a look at, yes, doing all of that, but there's a whole new way to monetize by selling or recommending or referring other people's products. So if you generated too many leads and you sold those leads to friends and competitors, etc., you're looking at, the term is affiliated marketing, you're looking at promoting other people's products and services for a commission. Products usually related to your niche and audience. You receive a commission anywhere from 5 to 95, and there are instances where it could be 105, and yes, 150% commission, because sometimes the name, address, city, province, postal code is worth more than the initial small price offering, where that gets upsold into a bigger product and service. And it can get complicated, it can get pretty diverse. We're going to keep it very, very simple to explain the concept that you're actually promoting other people's products and services for a commission, but they're usually related to your niche, and so your audience will appreciate it. So you can use it as an add-on to your offerings in your email sequence. You can upsell to another product, or use that to upsell your own product. You can add value to your subscribers and use it as an optional source of variety. So, for instance, it could be that, let's just say you're a yoga instructor and you've got a list that you're building, and you have a good solid following of people, many of them who are your clients who come and see you on a regular basis, but many, many, many more who are your prospects who are not become your client yet, or something in between where they've tried you once and haven't come back. And so you're segmenting your lists into these various lists. And then what are you doing right now? You're naturally promoting to your existing clients in a certain way of honoring them, of loving them, of offering them more value, of I'm going to use the word kissing them gently with with gratitude. Whereas with your prospects who have never tried you, there's a different approach where you are giving them certain other incentives. And with the prospects who've tried you once, you want them to come back again. So with those lists, you also know that those people who opted in because they wanted yoga might want to get healthy because they want great nutrition to go with their yoga. They may want, after a yoga session, to have a great massage from a massage therapist, and they might need other types of counseling and whatever it might be. They might want an adjustment now and then. So take a look at the periphery of what would fit well as non-competition for your own business, but something that would be absolutely complementary. And then take a look at who you can affiliate with and offer their products and services, and get a piece of the pie for those recommendations. So affiliate marketing is really an incredible way it's actually a business all of its own when you really take a look at it, because you can take your whole business aside and develop a separate list, which we won't get into here, that is entirely about selling other people's products and services without having your own business or without having your own product and service to sell. But that's for another day, another time. So let's get into blog and website monetization. If you have existing established content with some traffic, you should consider renting out some space. What does that mean? So think about it. If you've got existing established content with some traffic, people are coming to your website, you can consider renting out some space. Your website and blog, again, is that virtual real estate, remember? And so people can visit that real estate. They can rent it out. It's almost like you're renting in a condo or an apartment, in a building. And so you're offering it for lease, where other people will lease it. And they lease it by putting ads on that real estate. So advertisers will pay big bucks for the opportunity to place ads on your website, and Google itself will place its own ads on your website, and that's why it calls it Google's AdSense, because Google senses what may be complementary. Remember, we talked about affiliate marketing and complementary products and services that you can refer that complement your own offering. Well, Google senses what are some of the other products and services that will be good on your website and places its ads there, and you can actually make money from those ads when people click on those ads, because they do come to your website. And you've got to really watch how you play this game, though. You've got to, again, know what you're doing, because Google can easily not distinguish that they place your competitor's ad on your website. But you can actually, knowing the names, block your competitor, or set some parameters so that doesn't happen. So again, it pays to know what you're doing. Sometimes you're better off when you start playing these games to hire someone who knows what they're doing. And this is something that we do and can absolutely refer you and recommend and help you along with really taking a look at this bigger game of how to play with this virtual real estate. And it gets much, much bigger. You're talking about swap advertising and ad swaps and banner ads, individuals. It's really the advertising game on social media and on websites and internet marketing is quite large, and you got to know what you're doing, but it's very, very worthwhile and very strategic to do. Let's get into pay-per-click advertising. You've got an auction-based bid system. The auction starts when someone types in a search request. You can bid on keywords, specify a maximum you want to spend on a per-click basis, specify your daily, weekly, monthly maximums, and you do want to do that because you can actually end up spending your lifetime savings within the day if you're not careful. Again, another good reason to maybe outsource this from someone who knows. You might be paying a little bit, but because they know how to do, whether it's PPC or advertising or AdSense, you'll actually end up saving money in the long run, because they'll know how to buy for less, they'll know how to play strategically, they'll know how to set parameters, and they'll know. And it's almost so new in this game in certain areas, and in some there it's like PPC is quite an established way of doing business, but in some other areas like Facebook promotional ads and all that, it's such a new cutting edge game that prices are ridiculously inexpensive, where it makes so much sense for you to get into the game, especially now while it's bleeding edge, if not cutting edge. So Google assigns a quality score to your destination page, which is your landing page. And this is the most important thing you want to take a look at, is what is your quality score. Your quality score is going to determine what Google charges you for every potential prospect that clicks on your advertising. And it all has to do with a very complex formula that actually forms your quality score. And there's just so much out there. Just know that as opposed to studying it, it's much better to give it away to a trusted source that can take a look at quality scores and keep your quality score high, so you pay a lot less for people to click through to your advertising and to your offer. CPA advertising. Wow, this is the granddaddy. It could easily be a 6-month course. It is so deep and complicated, but it warrants a mention on this session. But it is fabulous when you understand the game of CPA. Even though you may not have a product or service, it's usually for larger players, that'll play in this game, but nothing prevents you from enriching your offerings, and becoming your own publisher, which you can do easily when you know what you're doing. You can stay within your niche and use relevant products. So cost per action is you get paid when people do something, not necessarily buy something. It could even be a survey. It could even be just leave an email. It could be leave an email, name, address, city, province, postal code. It could be buy something. It could be buy something very small or get something free. And but as long as they leave all the details, you get paid a lot, or it can be a lot. So it's so much more to be discussed on cost per action. The biggest example I can think of right now, if you want something, it's a health and wellness product that reduces weight. It's a $50 product, whereas you can, just for ordering a free sample, you get it for free, Garcinia, Cambodia. And you can actually get it free, but to get it free, there's a $5 shipping and handling, and to get one person getting the product free, you actually make $50. So it's an incredible thing that you can take a look at. It may not be relevant to you as a health and wellness expert that wants to stay in their niche. I'm bringing it to you just so that you can see the range at what's possible for you and your business, way out of the zone that you're playing in right now. Media buys. It's another huge area where you're talking about CPM versus CPA, which is cost per 1,000 clicks on solo ads and banner ads and pay-per-view ads and pop-ups and pop-unders, and it can be very expensive if you don't know what you're doing, but it can be very cost-effective if you do for percentages of a penny per click. So, and the branding exercise would be just phenomenal with some of the stuff you can do with media buys, and you can place billions of ads daily instantly. And there's companies right out of our backyard here in Toronto that do exactly that. They're some of the biggest players on the internet. So, again, aside from media buys on the internet, you're looking at advertising on social media, and here's where I think I'm the most excited. Each platform has its own advertising options. You use paid advertising. When you run out of your own buzz that you generate, you can create paid buzz. You need more likes, you want more exposure, your event is coming up, you need more registrations, you're selling something, you need more leads, you want to boost your presence and draw attention to your success. You can do all of that with paid advertising on social media. And it's so new with some of the social media that you can really, if you know what you're doing, get it for pennies, because it's so new and most people don't know how to engage in it. So your purpose is usually still the same, of course. You want to increase the power of what you do with every interaction. But instead of spending countless hours interacting and nagging and tagging and sharing and being friendly and all of that stuff that some people don't want to do, you can buy it. and you can promote your ad, and you can have people registering and joining and liking for pennies. Pennies if you know what you're doing. So you can either take the time on social media to do it organically, or you can buy the whole thing and Facebook will promote it, or whatever social media you choose, to the degree that you can afford it. And again, there are many ways in which to do it very, very cost effectively. So once you reach your critical mass, with your own friend requests and stuff like that, you might want to also use it to work in tandem with what you do organically to get your posts promoted and your videos on top of searches. Advertising. The entire advertising sphere is huge. Too huge for me to cover with more than just it could actually be a course in itself. Again, what can I tell you? If you want to know more, we can always connect on social media. But this is really where you want to seek professional advice. You want to start small, plan, test, and advertising covers the whole gamut of what we talked about, whether it's CPM, CPA, AdSense, the whole thing. You really want to take a look at what you're doing. But before you take a look at anything, you want to decide on, ask yourself those questions. What do you want to be? What's your approach? Do you want to be an advertiser? Do you want to advertise on all the channels? Do you want to be a publisher? Or do you just want to be an affiliate, right, and promote other people's products and services or your own? And so you want to take a look. Do you want to do one of all three? Do you want to do all of the above? What makes sense for your health and wellness business? And then, where do you want to advertise? Social media, blogs, website, email. The approaches are something that need to be looked at strategically for you to take a look at where do you want to go, because as you've seen already, the playing field is large, especially if you haven't gotten started. If you're already there, it's even larger, because the more you think you know, the more you're going to find out you don't know. And so this Rubik's Cube of where do you fit in and what you want to do is still looming, but it begs the question, are you clear on what your next steps are? So again, there's lots and lots and lots that we teach in the socialmediaimmersion.com. There's so much more that you can learn if you do want to learn about leveraging social media, email marketing, Facebook pages, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google+, Gmail, Google Drive, other apps. You've learned about Hangouts and YouTube today, blogs and WordPress, Instagram, Flickr, Tumblr, Pinterest. You've learned about paid advertising as much as we could tell you in 1 hour and more. And so you've got the basics on everything you really need to take a look at for your own health and wellness business. So having said all of that, what's next? What do you need to do to really take that business of yours, that vision of yours, to the next level? Because it truly is where the action is where the rubber hits the road. So without action, all of the thoughts that you have are pure nothing. Thoughts without action leads to nowhere. These are things that, ideas we've got in the shower about how we're going to change the world, make a difference, impact society and humanity and all of that stuff. But until we take action, nothing happens. So on a smaller scale, until we take action with our own business on some sort of social media, knowing this is the new domain, the new bastion, the new frontier, nothing happens. So decide, again, maybe the first thing you want to do is listen to this presentation again, because we did cover a lot. We've covered more than a day's worth of content. We tried to actually divide it into 2 60-minute segments, but I can see right for you from the time we've gone way over that. And so you really want to listen to these presentations again. We've given you lots and lots and lots of meat. And if you're a vegetarian, I'm sorry I put it that way. You want to evaluate your situation. You want to know what you do next. And you want to connect with us naturally so that we can become friends. thesocialmediaimmersion.com. That's where you're going to find out more about us, about some of the stuff that we offer on the social media side. You want to find us at the links on the next page and ask us any questions. Are you ready now? Or should I have asked that as a question? Are you ready? The choice is absolutely yours by the actions you take. You've got all the tools. You've got the toolbox, matter of fact. Are you going to use it to build? That is the answer that is for you to answer. Let's start with the hand that you see out there, which says like. You can start with any of the pages that you see, whether it's the website, the Twitter, the YouTube, the LinkedIn. That's the business page. The socialmediaimmersion.com will tell you a lot. When you engage on any of these social media channels, let's become friends and let's start to get to know each other on social media. I would love to help anyone with a dream. That's what we stand for. If you've got a dream and a vision that needs to go out to the world, that is what I would love to help you with, because that is, I think, the most important thing. You know, but we can have that dream or that vision, and we can hide it like a buried treasure. And if we do that, it is treasure that never sees the light of day. People don't get to know the essence and the uniqueness and the power of what we do and what we've got to offer. And one of the things I've realized with my own friends in the world of health and wellness is we are so good at being the best at what we do in the realm of health and wellness. But when it comes to making money or having a business plan or knowing what to do in business or having a strategy, especially one that is systemized and automated, so it saves us time and allows us to do what we do best, which is to deliver our health and wellness product and service. Well, social media allows us to do that. And so I hope you've enjoyed these two sessions on leveraging social media to build your health and wellness practice. I hope we get to keep in touch. I'd love to hear from you with what you've learned in the course. You can connect with me on any one of the platforms that you've seen out here. And I want to wish you the best in your travels, in social media, with your health and wellness business. If I can help you with anything, that's what it's all about. Would love to do that. So stay connected, and it's been a real pleasure. God bless, and good luck. Lots of success.